Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of my story to the world by Tree of the I have with me.
My name is Adenike Ayoola. Mrs. Adenike Ayoola.
Hello. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Uh, well, I'm an August born,
Eh, your birthday is fine, is it? One day.
29th of
Oh, it's coming. So I didn't have the
yeah. And I thank God for the journey so far in my life. I give God the glory because He's the author and the author and the omega of our life. Thank you, Father, because if He's not God, I cannot be alive till today. Just as I said, I was born August 1962. That's August 29th. Um, I started my youth with my grandmother. I started living with her as far back as age 4. But I started trading with her age 6 because she's a trader. She trade in both record produce buyers like Coca-Cola nuts, bitter cola, all these herbal things, but not like cocoa. She was not dealing with cocoa. And she always traveled to northern part of Nigeria. Okay, let me say I'm from Nigeria. I think I should have introduced myself as like I'm from Nigeria. I came from Oyo State, Ibadan Central, Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State. So I was living with her in Ibadan via our village that they called Omiadio. That village is along Apata stroke Abeokuta Road. That's exiting from extreme end of Ibadan to Abeokuta South. So I started schooling with her from age 6. The good story about age 6 trading was that any morning, ever before I go to school, she believed in education. As old as she was and as illiterate as she was, she believes in education. But because my parents were not in Nigeria, they were in London, they were in UK for a long time. We were two that was dropped, as at that time, myself and my sister. So I was living with my paternal grandmother while she was living with our maternal grandmother. The two of them are traders. So the story that was interesting there was that early in the morning when you wake up, I must go to the brook to fetch water. That is one small stream river. You need to go there to fetch early morning water. We believe in that period that whoever that gets to the stream first to fetch water will fetch the best cleaned water. So that will be early morning before 6 a.m. There's no fear that maybe you will meet a snake on the road or any biting animal or anything. You just go. And what we used to fetch water then was not ordinary bucket. It was this mud pot that by the time you put it on your head and you want to lift it on your head by yourself without anybody assisting you, you will first put it on your leg, transfer it to your head. The water that was dripping right from the stream to the pot, that is on the body of the pot, you will just be doing it like this, putting the water aside as if it's entering your eyes. That's one joy. that the children always gave when you went to the stream to fetch water, just because you want to be well removing the water from the pot, as if you are saluting the pot.
Yes.
Now, by the time I get back home, normal
Like what have you?
activity, like before Muslim always pray early in the morning, like 5 o'clock or 5:30. Before 6, that's before 6. I've already finished fetching water before 6 because we need to prepare for school. Because the school will start 8 a.m. And that 8 a.m., you must not go late to school if not to be caned because we always caned. And there, sometimes you may not even bath to go to school. Bathing is not compulsory. The most important thing for you to wear your uniform and brush your teeth and move on. That goes about early morning business. There's no way you come back from school that you will not go to market again with my grandmother. For instance, she has different kind of businesses. The one for morning is different from afternoon. As I said earlier, that she tells kola nut this and blah blah blah. Before we go to school, sometimes if we are not going to fetch water, I must go to the train station that is close to our house to go and sell kola nut for all these manams, those people, the train that is going to meet. Most of them stops at the train station. So our house is close to train station. They call it station. They won't put train there. But the moment we hear station is train station. When you hear of garage, that's bus garage. So you go there to sell in the morning. We have known the time. We know the time the train will pass in the morning, the time it's going to pass in the evening. It's like early morning journey and late evening, late night journey. So when I come back from school, the same thing you have to, I go and sell again at the train station.
But
So
so it's something different because it's a different business. Your one is
for train is the same. For train is the same. So for weekend that we have enough time, during the week, she go to the other business in the morning by herself because we will be in school. I will be in school and my other colleagues, not my sibling, but other relations. That of weekend, because she sells clothes, all these clothes that the girl with yard. There wasn't anything that time, and there was no scissors. You either use our mouth or knife to cut the cloth. So we always measure clothes this way, from your hand to your shoulder here. That's how you know the measurement of 1 yard. Then by the time we do that, you use your teeth to tear the cloth, or you use knife, no scissors. So those are the kind of things she sells every weekend. And we must be there with her. Especially when they said in Nigeria or in Africa generally, we always have the trading period. Then you be saying 5 days market or 7 days market or whatever market. So those kind of markets, it doesn't pass by. Either it is during the week or weekend. If it falls on during the week, no school. We will not go to school that day. We must go and sell. So that means like that. I continue the journey of my life through that princess because my parents we were not into that rest for all what we are doing. All their mind was that we are roots. We are the drum
now that's the key care of the
yes, we are going to see. So there was this very particular day that we are catching holiday. I'm talking of telling this straight for you. Now, she now told me we are going to north together. I said north. Everything concern you. I don't know what is north or what is south. Now she has packed her load for business. We have this train for load, the train that carry goods, the train that carry human beings. They are different. So we call it coach. in that time. I don't know, maybe he's still coach. They're calling it now. So a whole coach is always taken by two of them because it's very big. So they share it halfway, halfway. That particular year, age 6, that I remember that I've done so far. I mean, I've gone so far and I've done so much that I didn't even know that it was a training for me. So, said we are going on holiday. I was happy we are going on holiday. I said I was living in the village. So we need to go to the city, which is Ibadan City, for holiday. So the excitement of we are going to the city was immense. Getting to the city, I just discovered that I met myself at the train station from the source where train is taking off. Mama, when we are to get home, we are reaching. He now told me that I'm following this coach to Kaduna, either Kaduna or Kano, I don't know. I said, okay. But she was not following the coach with me. She now handed me over to one of her friends that the two of them loaded the coach together with cola nut and all this bitter cola, all these cloves, all this herb something. That was what is in the coach. We move on with this stage. Now,
So who was inside the coach?
I don't know her, but it's her friend. She's an elderly woman. So, but during the process of this journey, she has given, because the journey will take 3 days before getting to where we are going to. She has already packed my food for 3 days. What kind of food? Let's see.
What kind of food?
Thank you. The food that doesn't get spoiled easily, eba. That is gari made from cassava. And agidi, that's reko, made from corn. The kind of soup that I will use for this two type of food for the whole 3 days is this pepper that has been fried to the last card, that if you don't need to warm it, you don't need to do anything. The oil on it has already even dried up the cake. Just take a little portion, eat what you want to eat, and move on. As a child, I don't know anything. My own is for my tummy to be full and carry. Then the another interesting part was that if I want to go to toilet, inside that coach, coach is opened. There's no space of you want to ease yourself or you want to pee, you want to do anything. She has already given me my potty, and not this kind modern potty. The potty that you can easily, it is like, it's not a real potty. It's made from those plastic that the Muslim always use to make ablution, something like that. And the keg of water for the old journey is already there with me.
Means the keg of water is for drinking.
Both drinking and washing.
Oh,
so when we get to another station, we go down with you. Then my bag is all this old bag that is made from zip and palm leaf or something like that. It doesn't get teared, it doesn't get dirty. You put everything. So it's like new now when modern days black. That's how we put it there. It is very strong. Now the journey continued. You landed after 3 days. I was not looking for
how was it is for you?
The 3 days inside came. It was interesting for a child, but for an adult, it can be interesting because of inconveniences. How do we sleep? We sleep on the floor there, on the couch there, just the mats. If you have mats, if you have clothes, you put it on the floor. Either there's mosquito, either there's cold, nothing. But the good part of it was that because another woman, the elderly person is with you, so I don't need But I just continue living that. Because when it is evening, if the hand and 12 is needed, go of the coach. If when it's daytime, she fly it up again for us to see breeze. When the breeze is too much, she this. I mean, I don't feel I don't feel it that I'm is alone. I know that somebody is with me. So I will be asking, here is my grandmother. She says she will join us. Truly, truly, the journey of 3 days by the train was just a journey of one day on the road. So, like my grandmother, we live Ibadan to north. Let's say, by road. I don't know the kind of bus. Maybe it's a car, maybe it's a bus. But you just know that before I get there, she's already there to be still here. So that's how I started my business. I mean, trading line. When I like go up, the moment I feel settled, even with the little year before I finish, I just remember that the moment I finished secondary school, I started working. I discovered that I need to make money. So I now started my own personal business by going to the market to look for what to buy and resell to my colleague. From there, I build up myself to university level till I get married. So when I got when I got married, my father was now saying that what kind of business would you like to do? I said my grandmother business. He said that one will not give you money and it will not it will be a rough business. It's not a business for educated person. But if I had known that he just wants a white collar job for me, I wouldn't have agreed. You know, anybody that is produce buyer, they are making money because that's they use cocoa for coffee, for all other things. Cola nut, they use it for drug. It is like it was a lot of money people are getting there. By the time you get the only thing is such things is rough. You need to go for a splash to be to grow on it. So I started my business, different kind of business, just like my grandmother did. I did not believe I'd work in an office, but he hand me money or that I will be so much educated to the level I was. I just believe let's go to school to know how to write and read and forget it and make money. And I give God the glory because I had a supportive husband. And when I started the business, he took me to higher level because I was like my father said, you are too young to be because they don't know when the age that I traveled to North on my own. So my father was like, you have started traveling internationally before they become international business women. Because all through my businesses, it was international. I traveled to, let me just learn few because I eventually settled down in clothing, especially clothing. Clothing that I mean is already made clothing for office, for wedding, for every ceremony. So I started my journey to Hong Kong when I discovered the sweetness of Hong Kong. As at that time, because Nigeria was not a free country without saying visa to these places. Because at that time, I traveled to Hong Kong to China, China to back in Bangkok, back up to Vietnam, Vietnam to Turkey, US, London. Everywhere that I think I can get split, I just leave home. God was so wonderful and so grateful. I was eventually retired voluntarily that I'm no more traveling. because I was tired of flying. So, in every form of journey in life, you just need to be focused and careful for those to support us. So, that's the short thing. I sound just about the senior.
Like I had asked you questions too. So, whenever you're flying, really remind you of like long trips.
Ah,
If you can travel 3 days as a child, then no yeah, too long.
as a child, it was like a fun. But when I started flying or traveling,
Like international himself,
with this person, I think I didn't consider it too long or boring to be flying.
because long training is
I've already calculated I know how many hours I will spend on that flight, either with connecting flight or whatever. I zero my mind when I get to well in the moment I enter the plane, especially if I've overworked myself before entering, I really sleep off. And I have a reason for sleeping. Sometimes I had my stairs before leaving, before tipping off, and hand over, as they say today. I don't want to see problems or whatever that is on the air. Let me just sleep and forget about it until we land on the day.
I'm seasonally for safety. So where did your parents come up from the UK? Or did you go and tell them?
That's another story. Ah, before I got to know who is my parents, let's say, because they left me at age 4. I left my sister, my junior sister at age 2. So our grandmother has been taking care. So I believe my grandmother is my mother. And my uncle, which is my brother's, I mean, my father's brother, is my father. Those are the children you see as the person I was carrying was alone. Now it's time for them.
Patana.
Patana.
Mine was patana. My name, your sister was matana.
Matana. Now, when it was time for them to come back, then before this, in the process of secondary school, we are aware, we've known that our parents were not in the country, we were in city. So they always, how do you know? They always send clothes, pants, children. Ceremony, it's when ceremony like Christmas, birthday, they bring it, they will say from your mommy in London. So here is London. You don't know. My father left before my mother to London. In that time, I was a little getting to understand, age 4 is better than age 2. The time she was leaving, I quite remember that time was so, it was like, I can't, I'm just imagining the way it was before. I was excited she was traveling. We saw her to the airport. But airport was, they call it aerodrome in Ibadan. So that time, concept that we saw is like aerodrome with that also. Before you can get to international, which is Lagos. So we saw her off the airborne. There was a lot of barricade. So we did not hurry like the same. The vibe. I nearly jumped down. So the first thing I was holding that I was like, no, no, this man will marry you. In some in some but family is more than some mommy my I was scared something. I nearly fell down because they lifted my leg. My head is already on the side. The dog came really strength to the aeroplane. Maggie, Barney here. When they take Barney here off, I make wait like this. I was trying to help to just let not to go. They like to hold them to wait for leave that I want to join my mother. Move for me. Lady, I was telling them Balu is called aeroplane. Yeah. Balu is blue, but aeroplane is Balu, mommy, want to pay mommy, no, I want to pay mommy. That is it. Carried my mother a year. That picture was like my uncle took like he took that picture in his head. There wasn't any camera, any. By the time I was now telling them that story, they were surprised that at age 4 I remembered.
Wow.
Then when they came back, I was telling them what I remember about my mother's journey. They were all crying. But I denied my father because I don't need him. Now he was the one crying when they came back. They relocated when I entered secondary school. That was over 10 years before they can come back home. Before I can identify him, I was about 15 years. Wow. Before I can recognize them. That even I did not, I recognized my mother, but I did not recognize my father. They were now introducing him to me that this is your father. I said, it can't be my father because I didn't know him. So the whole family are crying. So that was just it. So we welcomed them back, but um, I was wise or I was old enough to understand what was going.
Yes. So why did they come back? Why did you not stay there or you guys rely on it?
No. Okay, my mother wanted us to be the two of us because she had other children. But my father did not agree because he was interested to come back home to see his people. And from there, he now told my mom that we have opportunity together, but let's just go home. But unfortunately, my father did not go back. He was just making a visit later when my other siblings have gone next to invite me. One day, because the school day, the two of them, kid parents, school day, the boss day. But like in the olden days, they said that they used juju to draw data.
No, but there was notice like here.
They said that's what other colleagues of them that stayed behind. But they know you say, Adenike, that is calling my father. Nick is bad. Well, Nick is bad. Why do you go back home? Why do you go back? Have they used charm to draw you back home? You want to go and see your people now? You cannot come back. Where the hell? All these kind grammar with.
Why is it was Nigeria was also fairly faced that oh that means I eat there and you may have that secret here or was it the
Hey, yes, definitely. Nigeria was feel like at that time is not man. Everybody that works there, you like to go back home and come back. Even to travel that time was not difficult. Everybody happy with themselves. You can do whatever you like. And our money then was well, even I remember by the time I got married, I found one um GGP and GPD and what how do they address pastel and Naira was almost close. There was no this two so much different. I think when I got married, when I started business, not even when I got married, when I got married, the thousands in Sri Lanka to Nigeria, if she wanted.
please again is higher.
Thousands, like £1 to 10 60p. Very, very cheap. But by the time I bought my salad, by the time I started business, handlers already started going low. So I started buying my house, I believe at £65 to 1 million. When it was going up, becoming 80 naira to £1, there is a need that they are really using. So, and it stayed for that for later. But the enjoyment of holding the one son to 2 naira is when I got married. So just note and know that in the olden days when my clients are this, yeah, on the same level, £1 is to £1 is to 1 naira. So pounds is pounds TTB and naira is still behind the name naira, but the valuation now settled.
So how have you now reached it? But like before you get your back, I always say, "So what please kill that." You will 15. You do not go and live again, but you get 18.
Now I was already in secondary school and I was in elementary school. As I was with my uncle, my immediate father's brother.
So you did once in the grandmother again, like you did as
No, it was only beyond the period because he was not in the same town with them. Like he was in Ogun State. My parents was in Western area, Oyo State, and the grandmother State. So it's only then what they were visitation, all of them. And they dictate for if it is 2 days we are spending here, 2 days. If it is one day, one day. If it is one week,
so your aunt will now be one dictating how many days you stay over here.
yeah, because he's the one that I know as father. Yeah.
So how do you get your husband?
Mhm. Um, Before that, let me just think if I add something to it. I live with my uncle already. It's not easy if you live with person that's very yes, the training is different. Because I was the first child of my parents, and my uncle got married before my parents came. So I was useful for my uncle's wife. So before she got pregnant, or before she started having her own child, to the blessed memory of her, she was, I don't know her as my uncle's wife. I know her female. So we do things like daughter and mother. But the moment she had foreign children and she started nursing and all this kind of thing, for a little child as I was, because I was less than 15 as at that time, the little things I can be.
Leave your diaper, change it.
There's nothing like that on that. We use a little nappy to size nappy for the baby. Oh, things are not even the issue. That's part of the training. But when the children started growing, that they need to go to lesson or to go to daycare or something like we in Africa or we in Nigeria live in housemaid. Unfortunately, they can get housemaid. Whatever the housemaid is doing is what it will do. But housemaid has a limit. They can go if they are tired. We cannot go. We can't throw us in. So there was this particular year, no housemaid was forthcoming. Now that my junior sister and myself, we are now living with it because of schooling. Not knowing that they have hanky panky within them. That my uncle and the wife. But since there's no hostel, let's make her an auxiliary sister. Come and deliver with her. Yeah, the story comes. The two of us will be staying with the children. We'll be sharing it. So we don't go to school every day. They now give us timetable. As a senior girl in the house, Carly go to stream 3 days in a week. Your junior sister will get 2 days in a week. We did that for years. So it was every year when the school exam is coming, there's no way we pass, but we struggle to pass. Well, God really help us. We did not fail. What are we learning in family speak? Just to go and come back. And because that my uncle was a teacher, not secondary school. I mean, what primary school teacher, not secondary school, like um, what about secondary school? This area is like teacher training college, say something. But it's very short. The users, you don't go to school. Then when it comes to eating, you cannot eat until you treat the table fish. Is that not the same English can say any treat outside slavery? It's usually like the slavery or slave person, something like. Then it was interesting that I don't know how to eat one thing, whether it's one food, not at all. You always use one language in that family there. One egg think that is two people to sharing your pitch. If I actually didn't what we get there, well, you must feed them, it will solve immediately. Because now I have with that language, you will be as voice if I hit one that so be the same one the same. Then there's no way you want to eat my money or after. The can't go and grind your beans. It's the mansion in its use net and the spawn something. It's not he's in grind it bro. Must actually not give us the the sheep and something. It makes us to the full. It makes us to be strong, work here, strong, resilient. So that's best like that. I trust in that this secondary school. What is it? Secondary school. By the time I finished secondary school, I was no longer relationship. But now I'm experiencing the combat that's why I'm saying this. I was not after secondary school. You know, I've entered secondary school before my parents. So I was no more of the after secondary school. Because my father insisted. Yeah, he started in English. So after secondary school, I went for HSC. HSC means ISP 13 pay, advanced level, something like that. So that's where I started getting into AI, knowing them as the kid. Started my say. How was that? Now using your plate with a knot, it had eat egg just to. Oh, he's no more. He's staying. Well, it's not my anything to all. It has become a past thing because when you are in secondary school in boarding house, you're already independent. You can do things by yourself. But the most important thing is we achieve our education. Then, we, after A levels, I thank God I went to A levels. I did Cambridge. I did every sort of exams, and I trained myself for university. By that time, I've started working. My father has already purchased like holiday job. You know, that time you can easily get holiday job when you are young. So from holiday job, I enter into an office. And that particular office there I started now, that was National Insurance Corporation of Nigeria, in quote, NICO. I started young as a fresher, and that's where I stayed. I don't believe in running from one office to the other. I started climbing my ladder. So it was that office as an insurer, going around looking for business, maybe life insurance, nature insurance, come with this, any data. I've met my husband with it. If you were like you work with a sign on the world, and the software was a made like that. Well, it can be on the team in some case. So before like I was interested in buying and selling. That made it was easy for me to penetrate into. That was what happened. I just joined some brokers or agents wedding each.
You know marketing, that's all you have. You know just buy your insurance.
No, you buy
Now plenty.
you buy everything you felt. He does like my approach, and he was at that time he was a young officer of which he just finished from NGA. Eventually he joined the Navy. And you know, when you are saying NDA, the three armed forces, Air Force and Navy, especially. It was never learn. So they can learn.
See, really love what my tea. You need to acquisition was major. You have to use for basically. Oh, that's it.
Because they made it to heavy. That's that.
Oh my
Yes,
god,
yes.
it's literally where you'll be is.
Yes. Crossing of the sword.
So I don't feel like
It was it wasn't done in years, but going for up and down, it was well, I've been a strong woman from the beginning. We started living together very well because yeah, he was tested, he was late. But the moment they transfer him out of the station, I took it like that. That's anytime you come home, you need test. But I've been in strong and standing in my own nations for life because if you be telling me I can go to ETAD, I can go to Cavans, I can go to North, South, East, anywhere. That's my job. It's my job. I've signed for it. You will see me today. You don't see me today. So, well, as a military person now, you have said so many things before you. In one study, you are determined. If I so that's the way it's getting.
I want to ask you, what is that about? Right, that is really one institution. Three very stages. Because, like you say, and all of them are married. Says, you know, all of them. The rules that.
What is he?
What makes it that? Because it's love. If not real, and married at about 28. I know. Always think. Well, it just makes them sleep scared because there was no any delay. Child fire, but child them.
It wasn't swiftly.
Well, I also asked the four questions. Richie then ask questions related to the pollen. You happy to answer us, right?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes. Yes, you are seated for you sharing with us. And pride. Thank you that we are able to make this happen. You want in our playing program that not area this year. We wish we can have a team, but can you if I'd say play.
By God's grace.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, brother, I'm is the best for everything. Yeah, I'm around you. See me. I'm not around.
We hope to
Others usually.
the last
Like
weekend is November or first weekend. So,
okay, it's noted.
noted.
No, noted. And then it's noted.
Anyway, please. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Thanks for appreciating this. You learned a lot. I hope you learned something. I learned great about museums, about teaching everything to you to solve better. This is what beyond forward.
Yes. That's making myself the chance. Very, very important in determination in that. Because I don't know I'm go to university and didn't know I respect. You know, I said it in my song that I trained in research. So when you're saying that university, it's not that you go because I've passed the age of service. I didn't go for service. So it's like I like evening class training, which you can be. As I was working, I was going to school and I was trading. So when they are saying three jobs together, I think some women are really trying doing three jobs, especially when you get married with a job, you have a secular job with a job, join to maybe you have a personal business with another job on it. So not to talk of training yourself to school. Who are married to all the sensitive purpose. And we have a good and supportive partner.
Yes.
On board.
So thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you. You should have your day. You should be what season. Like, like season out, whatever and everything to be so. But thank you so much. I need you, everyone. Okay, till we see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you. God bless you.
Cheers.
But your love won't give.